They will fear the wild.
Hey, Frosty Plays has joined the Chum Bucket. Thank you. Thank you for the subscription. Any primers in chat, boys? Any primers? Any oil princes? We like the oil princes. Hey, thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. So yeah, we're just gonna not do this build anymore, or well, not for now, anyways. Maybe when people start using their brain more. So yeah, this is gonna be part of the build, so I'll just throw that in now. I think we just go for the Iceborne plus Ludens, like before. I think that's probably the best way to build. The instant 40% is just too good. Yeah. And then for boots, so I want to put this in order though, just so it's not confusing. So for boots, I could go lucidity if I'm going like, hey, the Chumbles Ditto Nid. Unfortunately, I can't change it to Chumbles because Twitch is like, you're not a partner, and you don't get to pick your full name for whatever stupid reason. So yeah, we're gonna go for, well, we're just gonna put these two because these two are just gonna be clearly the best ones in most games. Then it'll probably be Storks and then probably Lucidity. One day I'll become a Prime too. If you have Amazon Prime, then you have it, but if you don't, then obviously not right now. So yeah, we're gonna have our boots here. We'll put our core items. So I think we go with Theans because the Theans are just broken. Every time I don't build the Theans, I feel like I just lose. Because if your bot lane sucks, or if like they don't position properly and they just insta die, the team fight's just over. So we'll do that. And then starting items, right? Lane items, right? So Doran's. The thing is, like, you can go literally any Doran's item. People are gonna see this and be so confused because you can just take anything. I think these two are probably the best though, and then this in certain matchups. But I think overall these two are just better in general. And then for the more like optional items, they're probably gonna be this. Wait, what? Zonya's probably before that. But I think this should be the 4-man core of items here. It just feels so consistent, and these two are cheap. These two are a little more expensive, but they're expensive for a reason. I could put Morello's as an optional too, as like a pen item if they aren't too. If they're not building that much MR, then I can get this instead of Void Staff, and the anti-heal as well. So I think that's probably pretty good. We can also throw in Death Cap for certain games if we're stomping. Then we just take over the game, put Death Cap in. Do you ever go Darksteel? Probably not. Not for top, I don't think. You can't really afford to get it. But we'll put the... What? How do you get Blade out of blue? Okay, pot? Dude, what? How do you look up the freaking pots in this thing? I'm just gonna scroll down. Freaking Riot sucks. Alright, so get the pots, and then we'll put the wards in here too. I think you only really ever get these two, though. Don't really get the blue pot. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. So I think this is pretty good for top lane. Kind of standard, just AP. But I think before I wasn't getting Leandries, so... I think the Leandries before the Athene's probably good. And then again, we can build into other situational items. Any gifters try hard? We need wide hardo in the chat. So yeah, we'll save this for the Nidalee top. And then for the... How do you go to the runes? There we go. And then for the Nidalee top runes, I think this is probably the best. Now, I wasn't sure about these two, but if we're going for Athene's, it's 100% this. Because it's on... it's ones you cast or receive, so if you cast this on somebody else, it's also 10% stronger if they're below 40% health, which with Athene's is pretty much just close to like 100% health that you're getting back with Nidalee heal on top of the Athene's heal. So the stacking of these three would be pretty insane. And then these two, or these three, you can kind of just switch. But I think for the most part, you're only going for bone plating. Maybe second wind if you're against like Teemo. And that way you can heal up. And then we're going to go Transcendence because we're going to overcap CDR. So we'll get the overcapping bonuses from Transcendence because we'll have what? 20, 40. We'll have 20 over minimum. And that's if we're not getting Zhonya's. So if we get Zhonya's, then it's going to be an extra 30, or it'll be 30. And then we'll probably go Gathering as the final one. Get even more just free AP as the game goes on. And then Adaptive is probably just fine. Then you just switch between these two. So yeah, I think that's pretty solid for the Nidalee top build. So we'll do Nidalee mid now. And Nidalee mid. So for Nidalee mid, we're going Dark Harvest 100%, otherwise you're trolling. Sudden Impact. I think you just get Sudden Impact every game no matter what. No matter who you're really playing. I don't think Taste of Blood's going to be that good in comparison. And we'll grab Eyeball. I guess you could go one of these other two, but I think Eyeball's just better. And then Relentless, I think, will probably be the best just because of the move speed. Going up to top and bot for ganks with your move speed with the brushes. So, yeah, it's either that or Ravenous. I don't really see Ravenous being that good on Nidalee though, but I think you could go for that. If you're like in a situation or in a game where maybe if you die, then the game's kind of just over, like if you're that carry. But I think for the most part, Relentless is probably just gonna be the best. And then we're gonna go for Absolute and Gathering. That way we get the most AP possible. And we're gonna go for double again, and then it'll probably be it'll probably be Magic Resist because we're gonna be mid. So most of the time it's gonna be AP people mid lane. Really mid. I think I already put stuff in here. So I think for the most part this is the correct setup. Not Corrupting first, definitely not. But Corrupting could be pretty good because you're going to be going for Dark Seal literally every game no matter what as a core item. So you'll get the bonus healing from this, which is pretty good. And it probably makes it worth it just to sustain and lane more. But yeah, you're definitely going to go Luden's first item. And you're going to go into Sorks because you're trying to just get as much damage up front as possible. So you're kind of just Gloss Cannon, just chucking spears. And this is how you're gonna have to do it. I've already put out a couple videos of Nidalee mid where I'll literally, like, I've 100% killed somebody with one spear before, and I've chunked people out like 80% with 2 items, so very possible to destroy people with this. So we're gonna go Ludens, Sorks, and then Deathcap or Morello. But actually this is kind of bait. How do I... Yeah, there. So I think we'd go Oblivion Orb to sit on that just for the extra pen. And then we could go into finishing this if we need to. Or we'd go into Void Staff / Magi's. But I think Magi's would probably be before that. So yeah, this will give you just about like the most upfront damage that you can kind of get, as well as like pen, because that's the whole point of this build, is just to blast people down with the spears and kind of keep your distance the whole fight. But you can also spec into, like, I think this is garbage, these two, pretty bad. Actually, yeah, I'm not even gonna bait people into getting those. But yeah, I think these two are pretty good because the Zonias is just broken. Some champions, like if you're going against Talon and stuff, you're probably gonna end up building this first, or at least just grabbing the Seekers, if anything, because Seekers is a broken item and Zonia is just busted. And if you're running into the late game, I honestly think Athene's is pretty good because of the healing again, just like the reasoning for the top build. Let me delete this. So yeah, I think this is probably pretty good. I don't think there's really anything like to change. There's like Leandries, but I don't know if Leandries is that good because you're not, like, look how squishy you are. And you're not going Grasp, so you're not getting extra HP. So Ludens, Deathcap, like, you're pretty much just glass cannon. That's the point of this. So I don't know if Leandries is that good, but in certain games it's probably better than Void Staff if they're not building that much MR. This will be doing more damage than if they don't have that extra, I think it's like 80 MR or 90 MR. Then this is more effective and just better. But most people are building MR because it's just so cheap. I like the Leandries when paired with Iceborne. Yeah, that's for the top build that I do. I don't think it's that good mid, because again, I think mid lane you're gonna need the damage. If your team is like relying on the mid laner to be the damage, which is the case most of the time, then yeah, you don't want to be lacking in more damage rather than like tanking this and sustain. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I tried Rod of Ages, wasn't good. It took way too long to stack, and by the time that it finishes stacking, you're just far behind in most cases. This is also an okay item, but again, like, it's so expensive. Like, Gunblade's literally more than Ludens, and it's a little bit cheaper than Deathcap, but Deathcap's going to give you way more damage over the long run. I wish this was in the game, could you imagine? Hit people with that. Banshees is actually pretty good. I should put this in here as one of the random items you can buy, depending on the situation. Just could be pretty good. But I think in most cases you're probably just going to get Zonias over Banshees, right? So probably do it like this. No, like that. And we'll just continue going through here. Just make sure we don't miss anything. This is all the ability power items? Really? But yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah. That's probably everything. So hopefully this makes sense. We'll save that. And I do want to play some AP Nidalee mid later today, so we'll test this out. Although I've already tested this quite a bit anyway, so yeah. So this is the Nidalee mid. We're just gonna go back to show you guys again. So this is the mid runes, and you can switch these two. You probably switch the zombie ward with eyeball too as well. And then absolute and gathering are a must. And double adaptive, again, get as much AP as possible. These two you can change. So we'll see. And then Nidalee top, once again, grasp, demolish, because these two are useless. Bone plating, which could be switched for second wind. I don't think conditioning is that good because you're going to wait too long to get this, basically. Because it's after 12 minutes. If it was 10 minutes, then it wouldn't be that bad, but 12 minutes is pretty long into the game. And then Revitalize 100%, you're not switching that. And then Transcendence is a must no matter what. This could be switched, I guess, for like Mana Flow or Nullifying if you're maybe against like Teemo top lane. But for the most part, you're going to be running Gathering. And Double Adaptive, which you could switch for the attack speed, but I don't think it's going to be that necessary. You're probably going to get enough attack speed from your E. And then again, these two you switch, depending who you're against top lane. For the most part, it's probably going to be the armor, though. And again, for the items for Nidalee top, this is what we have. Pretty standard. Usually going to be these two. The boots are going to be Merc Treads or Tabbies most of the time. Maybe Sork boots, depending on who you're against. If you're against like Teemo, you could grab Sork boots to just try and one-shot him. But in most cases, I don't see these two being used that much. And then Iceborne into Ludens, into Leandries, into Athenes. And then situational items are here. And then the pot. So yeah, that should be everything for the 2 item sets. If you guys have any questions, you can ask before I head off here. I'll just wait a little bit. But yeah, I will be streaming, so I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I'm gonna eat, and then I'll stream after, and I'll be streaming some Nidalee top and Nidalee mid games. So if you guys want to stick around afterwards for that, then yeah. And there's no questions, then I'll head off. And yeah, you guys can always check out the video if you guys missed anything, but I covered everything twice. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, like I mentioned, this was gonna be a short stream just to go over the runes, but I will be streaming later tonight. So once the video is posted, that's probably when I'm gonna be streaming. So if you guys want to check out that video anyways and give it a like and all that stuff, that'd be much appreciated. And doesn't look like there's any questions, so I will see you guys afterwards, and I'll fix the Better Twitch TV if possible. I don't know if it's down or not, because we need that CAC-W and the wide hardos in chat. So yeah, thanks for coming by, and hopefully I'll see you guys later tonight. Peace, peace.
You let the talk, I don't talk, I get it. Yeah, you know I'm about it. If it kill me, I'ma let it. Run into the bag like I'm so athletic. I've been up since 6, making hits like tennis. I've been on fire, I just need my credit. Wanna go far, need to change my settings. Reaching for the stars so my feet touch heaven. Haven't had first, bitch, already want seconds. Wanna be on top, popping off like a fofo. Life been going fast, I've been trying not to go slow. I just hit the gas, now I'm faded, going slow-mo. You think you gon' pass, but you tripping, that's a no-go.